sports fans, and welcome to Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday, Week 4. I was not able to do my early games pregame show, or my early games postgame show, or late games pregame show, or Sunday Night Football pregame show. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday, Week 4 game recap, and I'll also let you know what's going on with the Sunday night game. We'll go over all that, and but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday trivia question. Out of all the Browns quarterbacks to start their first game with a win, whose first start as a Brown resulted in a win for the first time following the team's return in 1999? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. Okay. The Browns beat the Baltimore Ravens in the clash of the AFC North battle today at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, 40-25. All isn't necessarily fixed with the Cleveland Browns offense, but it took a big step in the right direction today. And it did. Baker Mayfield threw for over 300 yards for the second time this season, and Nick Chubb rushed for 3 touchdowns, leading the Browns to a 40-25 win over the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson had his worst passing game of the season, but continued to make an impact, tallying 3 touchdowns. The Browns entered the week as one of the NFL's biggest disappointments, and were coming off a frustrating loss to the Los Angeles Rams at home last week that featured a number of blunders and questionable coaching decisions, with the Ravens fresh off a competitive loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. It appeared the Browns were staring at 1-3, but that was not the case in the game today. Instead, they built their offense around quick throws to get the ball out of Mayfield's hands and into Jarvis Landry's and Chubb's churning out big runs, particularly in the second half. And that was really big in the second half, I will say that. The Browns took an early 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Baker Mayfield's pass to short left to Raymond Seals-Jones, who ran 9 yards for the touchdown, and it was 7-0 Browns after the first quarter. In the second, the Browns had 3rd and 3 at the Baltimore 48. Mayfield's pass short middle intended for Jarvis Landry got intercepted by Maurice Candy, for 3 yards, and Pharaoh Brown tried to recover the ball, but was not able to, and brought him down as well. The Ravens scored their first touchdown of the game. Lamar Jackson's pass short middle to Miles Boykin, who ran 9 yards for the touchdown score, and the Browns and Ravens were tied at 7. Then Baker Mayfield's pass to Jarvis Landry fell incomplete at the Cleveland 13. The Browns had to settle and kick a field goal. 24-yard one. Austin Seibert's field goal was good, and it was 10-7 Browns lead. Lamar Jackson kneels to the Baltimore 24 for -1 yard at the end of the second quarter, and it was 10-7 Browns at halftime. In the third, Lamar Jackson got sacked at the Cleveland 23 for no yards. The holding penalty, there was a holding penalty on that, but it was declined, and so and they had to replay the first down again. Then Lamar Jackson's pass to short right fell incomplete at the Browns 23, intended for Miles Brown. So the Ravens settled for a 41-yard field goal attempt by Justin Tucker, and it was good. And the Browns and Ravens were tied at 10 in the third quarter. The Browns scored their second touchdown of the game in the third quarter. Nick Chubb ran the ball 14 yards for the touchdown, and the extra point was good, and it was 17-10 Browns in the third quarter. Mark Ingram was up the middle to Cleveland for 6 yards, and Jermaine Whitehead and also Joe Schobert because Mark Ingram had fumbled the ball, and the ball was recovered at the Cleveland 26-0 game by Joe Schobert. He's the one that recovered it. And the Browns scored their third touchdown of the game. Nick Chubb broke through a left tackle and barrels over two Ravens players for the 2-yard touchdown. And the extra point was good, and the Browns had a 24-10 lead in the third quarter. And in the third quarter. The Ravens scored their second touchdown of the game. Lamar Jackson's pass short middle to Mark Andrews for the 8-yard touchdown. And the Ravens went for a 2-point conversion attempt. And it was good, and it was 24. And Mark Ingram was able to get it, and it was 24-18 Browns at the end of the third quarter. To the fourth we go. The Browns scored their fourth touchdown of the game. Nick Chubb broke through Ravens' right tackle and caught the pass from Baker Mayfield, and ran 88 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns went for a 2-point conversion attempt. Baker Mayfield's pass to Dontrell Hilliard was incomplete, and the Browns did not get the 2-point conversion, and their attempt failed at it. And it was 30-18 Browns lead in the fourth. The Ravens had the ball at the Baltimore 31, 4th down and 3. Lamar Jackson's pass was incomplete, short left to Mark Andrews. They had forced a turnover on downs, and the Browns got the ball back. The Browns were at the Baltimore 28. Baker Mayfield's pass to Odell Beckham, short to left at Baltimore 25 for a gain of 3 yards. The Browns, Austin Schobert kicked a field goal because that's what the Browns had to settle for from 43 yards, and it was good. And it was 33-18 Browns in the fourth. The Ravens had another pass intercepted by Jermaine Whitehead for a touchback, and the Browns made 3 plays, and then when 3 out, had to punt. The Ravens had one more interception occur in the fourth. Lamar Jackson's pass, short left, intended for Mark Andrews, was intercepted by Devereaux Lawrence, and the Browns got the ball back. The Browns scored their final touchdown of the game. Dontrell Hilliard, left guard, breaks through into the end zone for the 1-yard TD, and the extra point was good, and it was 40-18. The Browns lead. The Ravens scored one more TD. Lamar Jackson's pass to short left. Willie Snead for 50 yards, 50-yard touchdown. He took the ball that many yards. The extra point was good, and it was 40-25 Browns lead. And with 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Baker Mayfield kneels and takes a knee to the Cleveland 22 for a gain of 1 yard, and that was it. The Browns get the win 40-25. They go to 2-0 and are now tied with the Ravens in the AFC North as the Ravens fall to 2-2. And what a game today! And this Browns offense really took a step in the right direction. The Browns defense really had a big game today, and it's now time to give out some game balls. And I know Freddie Kitchens was very pleased with what he saw. And here come the game balls. First of all, Baker Mayfield. 20 of 30 carries and attempts, 342 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Nick Chubb, 20 carries, 165 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And boy, what a day for Nick Chubb with 3 TDs. And boy, he really had one heck of a game. Jarvis Landry, 8 receptions, 167 yards. Ricky Seals-Jones, 3 receptions, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. And Dontre Hillard, 6 carries, 27 yards, and 1 touchdown. So next up for the Browns, as they will travel to Levi Stadium in San Francisco to take on San Francisco, California, and they will take on the San Francisco 49ers next Monday on Monday Night Football, and they will try to go to 3-2. So we'll see what happens with that. That will be in Week 5. Well, we'll get to the all the NFL scores and my picks of the week in just a moment, but it is now time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL football football Sunday Week 4 trivia question. Out of all the Browns quarterbacks to get their first start for the team, whose first start as a Brown resulted in a win for the first time following the Browns' return to the NFL in 1999? And if you said Jeff Garcia, you are correct. Jeff Garcia, in his start as a Brown on September 12, 2004, led the team to a home victory over the Baltimore Ravens 20-3. Garcia himself had a quiet but efficient day, completing 15 of his 24 passes for 180 yards and on TD with one TD with no turnovers. Before him, Ty Detmer, Tim Couch, Doug Peterson, Spurgeon Wynn, and Kelly Holcomb tried but failed to win their first starts in orange and brown. Detmer, Peterson were on the wrong side of nasty blowout defeats at the hands of the arch rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers, while Wynn was on the receiving end of a 48-0 thrashing courtesy of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I will have another trivia question on my next broadcast, so stay tuned for that, and that will be tomorrow. Alright, it's now time to do all of today's NFL actions and my picks of the week. We'll start with the game that was a surprise ending on Thursday, the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles surprisingly beat the Packers at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 34-27, and I had to give the game ball to Carson Wentz for that one. Well, and so and this Thursday will be the Rams and Seahawks, and that should be a great matchup. The Washington and I lost on that one, and so did my brother-in-law. We both took Philadelphia for that one. The New York Giants went to 2-2. The Redskins fought 0-4. The Giants beat the Redskins 24-3 at MetLife Stadium in New York, and I have to give it to the Giants' backup quarterback. And Giants really had just outplayed the Redskins today by far. And the Kansas City Chiefs, and my brother-in-law and I both won that one because we both took the Giants. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Detroit Lions at Ford Field in Detroit, 34-10. And I got to give the game ball to Patrick Mahomes II. And he just had a great game today. So I give it to him. And we both took the Chiefs, my brother-in-law and I. We both won on that one. The Tennessee Titans upset the Atlanta Falcons 24-10 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And I got to give the ball to Marcus Mariota. I have to give the game ball to him. And my brother-in-law and I both took the Titans on that one. Actually, the Falcons on that one. We both lost on that one. So I already mentioned the Browns beat the Ravens 40-25 at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And you already know who I gave the game balls to. The Oakland Raiders upset the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis 31-24. And I gotta give the credit to the Raiders. They had a big game today, and their quarterback gets the game ball. And my brother-in-law and I both took the Colts. We both lost on that one. We're going to take a little break. I'll come right back, and I will have the remaining score, so stay tuned.